Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports. This week's matchup featuring two teams who both came away with wins a week ago and know it should be a good battle today. It's the Seahawks going up against the Rams. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Who said the crowds wouldn't embrace football being back in L.A.? You certainly couldn't tell that by what we saw a few moments ago. These folks are pumped up as their Rams get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And, Charles, you look at this Rams team as they enter play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
And I like his honesty because when we sat down with him, I mean, he was the first one to say that was on me last week, a really poor performance. Way too many interceptions, didn't find the end zone throwing the ball, put his defense and his special teams in some real jeopardy, but somehow they won the game.
They won.
Yeah, what I loved about it is when he told us about the defense kind of corralling him in the locker room and said, all right, my man, we're not going to do that again this week, are we?
The numbers for him from a week ago. 4 catches, 85 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And, a good hit there and knocked down hard at the 44-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
It's caught left side by Cooks. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Play action. It's Goff. Space to run past the 20. He's got his man in the crossing route. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envision to get the football to start the game and score. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now the rookie 7th rounder. This is Chris Carson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
In music, the Seattle sound is distinctive. In the NFL, it's the Seattle running game. Usually ranked in the top 5 in the NFL, it fell to number 25 in 2016, and they're trying to revamp the offensive line and find a bell cow running back in order to get things moving again.
They go play action with Wilson. He's going to let this one go deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. And here are the defensive starters, and their coordinator is hoping that they have short-term memories from last week.
A very tough week indeed, Brandon. All they want to do now is be solid right out of the gate. No big plays given up early.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now it's Wilson. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Samson Abukum in there to drop him. And that will go into the books as the first sack of his young NFL career.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
I think Los Angeles Rams will utilize 2017, as many do when playing the Madden game, by hitting the reset button. They were last in the league in offense, last in league in scoring in 2016, but they'll build and move forward with a young quarterback, Jared Goff, and a top returning running back in Todd Gurley.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. And incomplete on the deep ball. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 3rd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
First time I saw Cam Chancellor was in college at Virginia Tech, and I loved his athletic ability. I loved the way he took care of the middle of the field, but I wondered how that would translate to the NFL. Well, he found the perfect home in Seattle, where they allow him to roam the middle of the field and sometimes act almost as a second middle linebacker to take care of things that come across his way.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. The Rams dead last in the NFL last year on 3rd down conversions, just 32%, but they come through there.
They've got a much better chance of that number rising this year for a variety of factors. Of course, they're going to get their quarterback, Jared Goff, going. But the big part is, last season, they were really a one-trick pony on offense. Now they'll be much more varied under new head coach Sean McVay.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Last year, Gurley, 74% of LA's carries. That's the highest percentage in the league.
But no real payoff because they finished 31st in the league in rushing. I think as a team, they ran for 78 yards per game. They had a 1,000-yard receiver in Kenny Britt out wide, but they really didn't scare people downfield. And because of that, they stacked the line of scrimmage and stuffed the run game.
From the red zone now, Goff. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely frees up your guys elsewhere. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So we'll get a 2nd and goal when we come back. 6-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. So 2nd and goal here from the 9. They run. It's Gurley. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are...
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Robert Woods, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
That's caught at the 2. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And I guess that makes up for the earlier missed 2-point try here to get him to 14.
Yeah, that aggressiveness, it reminds me a lot of when basketball first adopted the 3-point shot. And people were starting to realize that 3 for 2 was really starting to work for them. In this case now, maybe the 2 for 1 is coming into play in the NFL.
And coming up later tonight in the NFL, we'll have the Chiefs heading down to Houston to take on the Texans. And then on Monday night, it'll be an NFC North battle. Vikings and Bears from Soldier Field.
Traditional rivals getting after it one more time.
Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Wilson. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Rameek Wilson, no relation. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. He'll return it from the 6. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's gone. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Out of the gun. Goff. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run. This is Brown. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
He got 29 yards that time. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. On first down, it's Gurley. And room there to work it inside the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Another carry now for Gurley. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And he's got it. That's Cup for a Ram touchdown. And he shows some mobility there, getting outside the tackles, moving to the right, making a nice play.
He had the whole field in front of him and was able to actually throw it about where he was looking, right? He said he moved to the right, had his vision there, and put a nice pass into the end zone for a touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball. And now the Rams are going to hold things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Taken in at the 22. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Goff on first down. Flush to his right. He's letting it fly for Cooks. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he's unable to grab it. thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now a first down throw. Goff eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, LA. Brandon Cooks as the first half is winding down. And the Rams add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. So we come upon halftime here in Southern California with the Rams on top. As we send you now to Orlando and our Tiburon studios, where Larry Ridley's standing by with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Rams have done a good job making the plays they need to in order to get out to a big lead. The Seahawks just need to figure out a way to bounce back. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Rams have it at the 32. Cook's got nobody around him on the catch. This play goes for a score. They go up by 6. Down to the middle of the first. Gurley's wide open, able to make the grab. And he ends up at midfield before he stopped on the play. Rams still on the field. Woods is wide open here on the catch. And that goes as a 10-yard touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. Rams lined up at the 20. Goff able to hook up with his rookie wideout, Cooper Kupp, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown. As they go up here at 21-0. Now 1st and 10. Here the catch is made way downfield, and this will go all the way for a touchdown.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended target, Doug Baldwin, and it's 2nd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. They run it with Carson, and he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They run again with Carson. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The largest deficit, by the way, the Seattle franchise has ever come back from, 21 points to the Bucs in 2013. Here's Carson, and that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury.
Offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, Pete Carroll's going to call out his field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, I guess we're at the stage here where they wouldn't say no to any points, but I don't think field goals are what they're looking for here in the second half.
I don't either, Brandon. When you're down as much as they are, that's the sign of a head coach waving the white flag to me.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley, 77 yards. And the Rams just continue to pour it on. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Wilson on first down. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic?
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Aaron Donald able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Open man, it's Vanette. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Ndamukong Suh able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. This is Carson. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Mark Barron in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Wilson to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first one. This from 44 yards out now. And Janikowski bangs it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And the hands team for the Rams able to secure the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Time for a break. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Throwing now, Goff. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And, oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
To throw is Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A very solid gain of 27. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Baldwin with it over the middle. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And out out of bounds just shy of the end zone at the 1. 12 more yards there and another first down. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5 and now first and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. That's caught at the 3. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Rams, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Rams are victorious here.